Hello everybody and welcome to SHAREfactory Tutorials. I'm your host Lev, and today we're going to go over the most basic step before you can even start editing a video, which is recording the footage in the first place. And there might be more to it than what you first realise. Let's get started. So you might just say, well, that's pretty easy. You just hit the share button on the PlayStation 4 pad, and essentially, yes, that is exactly all you do. But there's a little bit more to it, as I first mentioned. But if you just want to know the very basics, depending on what your settings are, which I'm going to assume are default, if you want to record what you've just had happen, so if you're playing FIFA, for example, and you just scored an awesome goal, you can hit that share button once, and that will open up a menu and allow you to press square to save the footage from what's just happened before. But if you're planning on recording what's coming up, then I recommend that you double tap the share button to start recording, and that'll either run for as long as you've got it set up for, or until you double tap the button again and it says that the video file has been saved. But again, there's a little bit more to it than that, and I'm going to go through step by step the things that you want to check. So this all depends on what you're wanting to do with your recording. If, for example, you are just playing and you want to share something with your friends, then I recommend that you just hit the share button once, record what's come before. But if you're wanting to do something more, for example, start your own YouTube channel, then it all depends on what kind of things that you're wanting to record and how. So before we get into all the ins and outs of what I would recommend, we need to go check out your settings. So I'm sure you all know where your settings are. It's on screen now. So once you're in the settings, you want to head on down to sharing and broadcast, and that will bring you to this screen. And this is all the options that we're going to need with the exception of one. And basically we're going to work our way down the list. So the first thing we've got is the share button control type. Now I've gone with standard, but of course if you have it set up for easy screenshots, then just adjust the tutorial based on your setting, because I'm going to be giving all these instructions based off the standard. So the next thing you need to do is select the length of the video clip. Now, one thing I didn't know going into creating a YouTube channel is that until you verify your account, you won't be able to upload a video longer than 15 minutes. So if you haven't done that yet, I would suggest selecting 10 to 15 minutes for your video clips. Of course, if you verified this, you can make it longer if you choose. I've personally gone with 30 minutes because my main channel is authorized. You can go with 60 minutes if you want. The reason that I don't is for a very particular reason. And that is that sometimes the PlayStation, it might just be mine, but I don't think it is, because I've had footage from my friends sent to me, and you will occasionally, if you've got too much footage, it will jump and cut maybe a second or two's footage out, and I find that doesn't happen as often with 30-minute recordings. But if you want to record for 60 minutes, that is your choice. That is just a tip that I've come across, so I tend to record in 30-minute segments. And this works for both types of recording, whether it's recording what's come before or what we're recording in front. So if you think that by double tapping the share button it's going to record until you're done, it won't. It will only record for the predetermined amount of time that you have selected. So we're now going to skip the following options. We're going to skip the screenshot settings and the broadcast settings. That's for streaming, or as pretty self-explanatory, taking screenshots. The one we're going to focus on now is the audio sharing settings. So as you can see from the screen, I have all these icons ticked. That means that everything that I have going through my headset is being picked up and recorded. Of course, this depends on what you're trying to record. If, for example, you've got your headset on and you just want to record the gameplay, and obviously you want these options turned off. Again, it all depends on what you guys are wanting to do. Now, one thing, and this is again, I had this recently, one of the options that you might not be aware of is if you're sharing your audio in a party, and you want to record everybody's audio, you have to make sure that they've also got their settings correct. I did a recording session recently and one of my friends didn't have his party audio shared. All his settings were correct according to this screen, but on the actual party settings, it was not. So you need to make sure that your friends have also got that all selected, so that you're recording everybody's audio. So one thing I would suggest is if you're recording with friends for the first time and you want everybody's audio, just do a short test to make sure that everyone's audio is being picked up nice and clear. So that is the basics. Again, like I said, not a load of extra things, but again, there are little things like selecting party audio that you might not have been aware of that could spoil a good recording session, as I recently had myself. So what recording works for you? Well, it all depends on what you're trying to get out of your channel. If you're wanting to do a full Let's Play, then I would definitely recommend double tapping that share button and start your recording. The reason for this is because when I first started my channel, I would tap the button once and record everything that came previous The problem with that is it's sometimes very easy to lose track of time, and many times I miss the beginning part of my recording because I hit that button after the 30-minute mark, so everything that was already before that 30 minutes is now lost. So I do double tap. I think that's the best method for Let's Plays, basically. Now, if you set it up for 30 minutes and you're playing for 40, then as soon as you hit that 30-minute mark, the game clip will automatically save and you'll get an icon coming up to say it's saved. This doesn't mean that because you haven't double tapped the button that the recording is going to continue. So if you hit 30-minute marks, your video comes up, don't think that when I double tap it, it's going to record the next 10 minutes. It won't. You have to double tap to start recording again. Another mistake I made. So I would think, oh, I'm playing for 45 minutes and it's going to keep recording in sections until I tell it to stop. It doesn't work like that. You have to start the recording again once that video save clip has come up. So that's another little tip for you guys. Now, what's the point in recording what's come before? You know, if you're, who would need to use that? Well, I find that's very good if your kind of videos that you're wanting to do are clips or compilations, or a glitch happened that you weren't expecting when you're playing another game. So if you're going to be doing those kind of games, so let's say you're playing Warzone and you just want to do highlights, you could play for 2 hours and there might only be 10 minutes worth of highlighted clips from that. I would probably recommend selecting the option for recording only 10 to 15 minutes and just not bother recording the whole session until you see something good coming up. The downside to this recording method as well, though, and as I found out many a times, is when you hit that share button and your little icon loads up, you won't be able to hit square straight away to record that footage. Sometimes, and again, it might be because my PlayStation 4 is getting a bit old, but sometimes I could be waiting, no joke, 1 to 2 minutes before the square button will allow me to press it and record what's come before. So if you've just done an awesome kill in Warzone, don't just hit that share button and square, because you might be under fire before that will actually come up. So I would recommend getting somewhere safe or wait till the match is over. And don't think, oh, I'm going to press the share button again and close it down and press it again in 5 minutes to try again, because as soon as you press that share button again, that's a new break off from recording. So let's again go into examples just to clarify what I'm trying to say. I'm recording for 10 minutes, I get a good kill, I hit the share button, it's taking too long for me to be able to hit that square button, and I'm under fire. So I hit circle or I hit the share button again to get rid of that menu, get somewhere safe, press it again. I'm now recording from when I press that share button again. So I might only have 2 minutes of footage. So again, be careful when using that, especially in a multiplayer online game, because I have made that mistake more than once myself. Now, another tip as well for when it comes to recording, you can, if you double tap and start recording, if, as I sometimes do on a long recording, if I think, did I actually double tap? Because if you haven't started recording, you double tap, you start recording from that point on. So if you think, did I definitely start recording, and you're not 100%, you can double tap and then later on hit the button once to open up that menu and save video gameplay. That will still work, it won't cancel one another out. So there is a way around it if you're just not quite sure and you just want to make extra sure. So that is another tip for you guys as well. I hope it comes in handy. Anyway, I think I've covered everything. Again, these are the reason I wanted to go into this is because I've made lots of little errors and mistakes over time on my main channel. And if you guys aren't aware of that, you might make these little rookie mistakes. So I want to try and cover you from doing that. So I hope I've explained everything clearly. Again, I'm not scripting these, I'm just telling you how I remember it. So if it's a little bit jumbled, just ask for clarification down below in those comments. And of course, let me know what you thought to this tutorial. Was it helpful or was it too much rambling? And I'll work on that for future videos. But I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one, hopefully coming soon. I know it's been a big gap since this channel started to the first main video coming out, but I'm going to try and get these out more regular. Anyway, I'll see you all on the next episode coming soon. Bye.